Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review. And today we're taking a look at this brand new Red Beret Instructor from Patriot Studio. And to be 100% honest with you, I don't know too much about this character. I assume it's a character from Resident Evil because that's what Patriot Studio does. They make a lot of Resident Evil characters. But you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm not even 100% sure what's in this box. Like, I don't know what this figure looks like. I may have seen some promo images, but I'm not even sure. The only reason why I'm reviewing this is because it's a Patriot Studio figure and their stuff is always quality, and they offered to send one to me to review, and I said yes right away because even without knowing what the character is or what the figure is going to be, I know that it's going to be high quality, so I'm always excited to check out their stuff. But anyways, shout out to them for sending this out to me. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, starting off with the packaging. The artwork here is kind of crazy. You can't really see what's going on there. This looks like it's a blade or something, and you could kind of see someone's face in there. And I don't know what's going on here. Like, I can't even tell if this is like part of the artwork or it's like kind of discolored there. So I don't know. Then right here it says Red Beret Instructor, 112 miles, real masterpiece. Okay. Up here it says the Patriot Studio. On the side it says the Patriot Studio. On the back it says a bunch of bullshit. Oh, there's a look at the figure. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that figure. Over here it says Patriot Studio. And that's about it for the packaging. I really like the style of packaging that Patriot Studio has. Like, it's very small. It's a shoebox style. Once I cut the tape here, like the top of it comes off, which is very nice. And it looks good, man. It's small, collector friendly, doesn't take up too much space, and it just has a high quality feel to it. So it's really dope. But enough about the pretty box. Let's go ahead and get this guy out and see what the hell is up with them. Alrighty, so now that I have this guy out of the box, I do recognize this figure. I saw the promo images. But yeah, man, like I said, Patriot Studio always delivers super high quality figures, and this guy is no exception. He turned out really, really nice. There's some great things going on here, some amazing detail. The vest has a bunch of little cool things going on. You know, the skin tone, the face sculpt, all of that looks amazing. The most impressive thing about this figure, though, is the articulation. Like, I was not expecting this level of articulation from this figure, and obviously we'll talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, man, right out of the box, I was like, damn, this guy really moves, and it looks amazing. And you know, one thing I love about all these Patriot Studio figures and, you know, a lot of Resident Evil characters is that they're pretty versatile, you know, because this doesn't have to be this specific Resident Evil character. It could be just a, you know, like a soldier or whatever. So that's really cool. But yeah, man, they killed it all the way around. The soft goods are really nice. I love, like, the shirt is some really cool material. Like, it's very it's got a nice stretch to it, you know? So when you're like posing the figure around, it just moves nicely. But man, there's some great stuff going on here with this guy. Their stuff is always so impressive. Every time I take one of their figures out of the packaging, I'm always like, oh man, like, I'm just blown away by the details and stuff. And Patriot Studio always does a really nice job with the details on their figures, and this guy is no exception. Starting off at the face, I think they did a really great job on this head sculpt, specifically with the skin and the eyes. Like, with the skin, there's all kinds of little things going on, like scratches around the mouth and the nose. He's got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, and there's all these little like imperfections and inconsistencies that add like a level of realism to it. And it's just really nice, man. It looks dope. I love seeing little details like that. And the eyes look amazing too. Look at that. When the eyes catch some light, they look very lifelike. Look at that, man. That's so cool. And I just really appreciate this type of work when it comes to a 112 scale figure, you know? Because it's got to be difficult to make something so small look so realistic, but I think they did a great job with it. The skin tone and the eyes look really nice. And then he does have this hat. The hat looks cool too. You know, it's got like a little emblem here. It's got some nice folds and creases and texture. And the paintwork is nice on it. There's not a whole lot. There's just that black line for like the, you know, the lining. But it's well done. Back here, it does have like a knot tied up, so that's cool. But yeah, the hat looks good. And I think they did a great job with it in regards to how it fits on the figure, because when you have it on there, you don't have to worry about it falling off or anything. It's very secure. But when you want to take it off, it pops right off with no issue at all. And then we get a look at his gray hair. The gray hair looks really good too. And it's not just solid gray. Obviously, there's a little bit of a paint wash and different things going on in there. So yeah, man, that's nice. But they did a great job on this head sculpt all the way around. It looks really good. And then moving on to the body, starting off with the vest here. The vest looks really good too. As you can see, we have some nice like shading on there. It's mostly black, but they did hit it with a little bit of a dry brush. We have some color in there that pops and looks good. Got like a walkie-talkie and different like pouches with buckles and things like that. Got a pouch on the side. The backpack section looks good too. We have some straps and things like that. A little bit more color, which I think it looks really nice. And then, you know, up here we have some nice things going on. Over here we do have a knife sheath, and the knife sheath looks really good too. Check that out. I like how it has like those little rivets, and the knife fits in here very nicely. And the knife has like a very cool metallic look on the blade itself, and the handle has like a plastic color. So, I mean like a matte black color, you know. Then there's a little bit of a logo or some type of insignia right there. What's up with that? Let me know in the comments. I don't even know, but it looks cool. So yeah, the vest is really nice. And as far as like the material that they used on the clothing, starting off with the shirt, this is really dope material. It's very durable. It doesn't feel like it's going to get damaged when you're messing with the figure. And you know, with a lot of 1/12 scale figures that have soft goods, after you play with them for a while, like they start to get fuzzy or something, you know, like the more you touch it, the more it kind of gets like messy. That's not the case with this. It's staying like smooth and looks good. Whatever material they used here, it's really nice. And I like how it's like two-toned, you know, we got the different shades of gray right there, which is very cool. He does have like this little patch on this side with nothing on it, but on this side, he's got a patch that has like a logo, and it's hard for me to make out exactly what that is. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm sure this is significant for some reason. But it looks good, and the patches are like, you know, some type of vinyl or rubber or whatever, like pressed onto the on top of the fabric. So yeah, that's really well done. And then moving on to the pants, I mean to the belt. He does have like an actual belt. It's not like a sculpted thing or anything. It's an actual like soft goods belt. I don't want to take, you could probably take it off, but I don't want to take it off because it'll probably be a hassle to put it back on. But as you can see, he's got like a metal belt buckle. And then he does have a gun holster on the side, but he didn't come with a gun that could go in there. He doesn't have like a handgun, so I'm not sure what's up with that. And then the pants look really good too. I like the pattern on there and stuff. And we do have some pockets for the pants, which is cool because the pockets actually work. Let me go ahead and show you. I got the knife right here. You could stick the knife into the pockets. So these actual pockets work, and then these ones do too. These ones are a little more difficult to get in there, but there we go. Yeah, see? But the pockets on the back do not work. These are fake pockets. I think, yeah, they're fake pockets. But that's cool, man. Oh, I thought there was a piece of string hanging, but it's just the pattern. But yeah, I really like that the pockets actually work on this figure, so you could stick some things in there if you want. And then, yeah, the pattern on the pants is very good. The stitching is all very clean, and it's fit like perfectly, which is crazy because even though it's fitted really well to the figure underneath, it still allows for some pretty good range on the leg joints. And then down here, he does have some knee pads, and these have like a similar kind of style to the vest. You know, it's mostly black with a little bit of like, you know, a gray dry brush, but there's some nice detail in there, and you can remove these if you want. They're like on elastic bands, so that's nice, and they don't get in the way of the articulation, so that's always good. And then he does have his shoes. Not a whole lot going on with the shoes, but they do look good. Got some nice detail. Again, they kind of match the knee pads and the vest as far as like the colors go. They're just like black with a little bit of gray dry brushing on there. But yeah, man, I think this is a really, really great looking figure. Oh, one thing I forgot was the gloves. The gloves look good too. They're mostly black, a little bit of gray, and then some metal on the knuckles. And then a little bit more of that impressive looking skin tone with the scratches and marks and freckles and shit like that. So it's really cool. But yeah, man, this is a great looking figure. Every single Patriot Studio figure that I own looks absolutely amazing when you zoom in and look at all the little details and just look at all the effort they put into like making things look very high quality and realistic, you know? Like the skin tone on him is crazy. Same thing with the eyes, and yeah, just everything looks amazing on this figure. And again, I think they did a phenomenal job with the details on him. So yeah, they killed it. And then for accessories, he comes with some pretty dope stuff, including 4 different sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of fists. And then he comes with a set of open hands. And then next up, we get a pair of gripping hands. And these can be used to hold on to the knife that he comes with. And then for the final set, he comes with a pair of gun gripping hands. And these work really well. Speaking of the gun, he only comes with one gun. And it is very cool. I do like the way it looks. It's got a cool color to it, like a dark, like gunmetal kind of vibe. So that's awesome. But the only thing that's kind of weird about it is that it doesn't fit into the one holster that he has. So that's kind of weird. But the gun itself is very cool. And you could, you could kind of use it two different ways. You could use it like this, or you could remove the, I believe this is called the stock, correct? If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But you could take that part off, and then you could have it like this. So that's kind of cool. And then for his final weapon, he has this really nice looking bow and arrow setup. And this is crazy right here. Like, I don't know too much about bow and arrows, but this looks very realistic. Got a whole lot of things going on here. And, I'm not really sure if I have the arrows set up correctly. I kind of have it under these drawstrings. And the drawstrings are elastic, so you can actually pull them back and make it look like he's getting ready to shoot the arrow. But yeah, man, this is awesome. And as you can see, the bow itself has storage for the extra arrows. I won't pull them out, but I'll kind of slide them down so you could see. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and try to pop it out. But yeah, they clip right in there. Oh, I'm going to mess it all up. It's all right, though. Oh, damn. So yeah, they clip right in there. And you know what's crazy about these arrows? I don't know if we'll be able to see, but there's like a little notch on the ends of them so that you can like clip the string in there. It's kind of hard though because it's a very small notch, and actually it's hard to even see. I don't know if you could see it on camera, but yeah, man, this is a cool looking weapon. But to me, it's just like too much going on, and I wasn't really able to figure out exactly how to get him to hold the whole bow and arrow setup. The way I had it set up was the best I could do, and I don't think it was right, but I still appreciate like the detail and the realistic like aspects to it, It's very cool. But for me, I would have preferred something a little bit more simple, especially if you're like hunting zombies like with the bow and arrow. I feel like you'd want to get something that would work quickly. This right here looks crazy. It looks complicated. But this guy seems like a professional, so I'm sure he would know how to use it. But anyways, they did a great job on this thing. It's very cool. Now I got to find that arrow that shot off. Alrighty, so now for some size comparisons. Here we have the Red Beret Instructor alongside the Patriot Studio Leon Kennedy and the GM Toys Reaper. And I like the Leon Kennedy figure quite a bit, but there are some significant improvements the Patriot Studios implemented on this new Red Beret figure. And, the main thing is the neck joint. Like, Leon Kennedy, his head and his neck is one piece, but on this new guy, the head and the neck are a separate piece. So you get more articulation. And I think that just that one joint adds a lot. So that's pretty cool. But still, Leon Kennedy's a great figure. And man, all these companies are killing it with the Resident Evil stuff. Like, if you're a big fan of Resident Evil, you've got to be very happy because of the figures that are available from that franchise. Like, these three are amazing. Patriot Studios is killing it. And GM, I don't know what else they've done, but they did an incredible job on this Reaper figure. I have reviews for both of these guys on my channel. Be sure to check that out. But yeah, man, you got to be pretty happy if you're a Resident Evil fan. And then next up, we have them alongside the Zombie Cop and one of the Chainsaw family members. Both of these figures are made by Patriot Studio, and I love this Zombie Cop. I get a lot of use out of these. I have two of them, and I think they're both great. And I would love to see some more zombies and monsters from Patriot Studio because they did such a phenomenal job on these zombies and these Chainsaw family members. But yeah, they kill it with the monsters and they kill it with the regular humans. So it's pretty cool to see what they have going on here. And then just to get them in here with some random video game stuff, here we have the Red Beret Instructor alongside the Figma Link and the Jada Toys Dalsim. And I'd be curious to see what Jada Toys could do with Resident Evil. I think they could do a pretty good job with it, especially when you consider how great their Street Fighter figures are. And another cool thing about the Patriot Studio figures is that they're pretty versatile, You could use them as other things, like the Zombie Cops obviously can be zombies for any situation, and their military soldier type of guys can fit in with other military type of lines. So here we have the Red Beret Instructor alongside the Mezco 112 Collective G.I. Joe Roadblock and Firefly. And even though, they do kind of have like a different aesthetic, I think that you could definitely mix these types of lines together. And then, of course, we have to have the Red Beret Instructor alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And then for the final and by far the most important size comparison, here we have the Red Beret Instructor alongside my original character, Odious from Unparalleled Universe. He is available for purchase now. I'll leave a link to that in the description below, as well as in the pinned comment. And then on the opposite side, we have the GOAT. That's the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mirage Comics Kirby, aka the King Jack Kirby. And as I mentioned before, the articulation on this guy is very impressive. And it kind of caught me by surprise because I have a bunch of Patriot Studio figures, and all of them have great articulation, but none of them seem to move quite as well as this guy. And I'm not really sure why, because the body seems very similar to, the bucks they've used on previous figures. So I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, this guy can move really well. And, even though the clothes has like a tight fit onto the character, none of it really gets in the way of the articulation. Like you could still move everything like very nicely. And like there's no bagginess or anything like that. Everything looks good and well fitted, but all the joints still have really good range. So yeah, man, they killed it with the articulation. But let's go ahead and take a look here. I'll remove the vest after I show you how far the torso could go with the vest because I was impressed by that. But let's go ahead and start off at the head. So he does have movement at the lower neck and at the upper neck. So using both of those, we get some really crazy like tilting action. Check that out. Look at that. And then he could look up a really good amount. And then he could look down. Look, the upper torso is like soft material. So it's not like a solid sculpt. It's like a soft rubbery type of material. But yeah, it just allows you to push his head forward a crazy amount. So that's really dope. Really good stuff at the head here. And then obviously he could look side to side. But yeah, man, they did a great job here at the head and the neck area. And then for the torso, obviously he does have this vest on. But with the vest on, he could crunch forward a really good amount. There's enough space in that vest. But look at that. That is pretty damn good. And then let's go ahead and take off the vest. It's very easy to remove the vest. There's a couple of peg holes here. And, I could remove the vest on camera. Putting it back on may be a little bit more difficult. But let's go ahead and take that off. There we go. Took his hat off too. But yeah, without the vest, I mean, it could go even more. And then, if you press on the neck, it's like, look at this. This is all crazy. And the clothes like doesn't look unnatural. It just kind of moves with it. It stays tucked in. So that is really, really dope. And then we get some really nice like side to side. Look at that. And the clothes stays where it's supposed to. I wonder if it's attached somewhere like in the pants. Like, if you I wonder if you remove the pants if it looks like he's wearing a bathing suit or something. That's the way to go, really. In order to keep the clothes like in place like this. This is dope, man. Look at that. That is crazy. So, man, really impressive articulation on this guy. Like what we have going on with the torso here completely caught me by surprise. And you could twist at the waist or the diaphragm. So, really good stuff here. And then for the arms, there is some kind of like butterfly joint. So, we get a little forward and back movement. You could get his arms in front of him a really good amount. And like I said, the upper torso is kind of soft plastic. So, it doesn't like, stop you from moving his arm forward. But the joint doesn't, let's see, like it won't really stay right here. You can see like a little bit of movement back once I let go. How about that? Oh, yeah, look at that. So that's pretty good. Pretty good stuff here at the shoulders. I wonder what's going on there. If it's just like it's probably just a long ball peg in there, huh? So good stuff at the shoulders. Doesn't really shift up too much. Oh yeah, it does. I mean, a little bit. Yeah, it must be just a long ball peg. And then you could bring his arm up to about right there. Look at that. Both arms all the way up. The material is holding up really well. That's crazy right there. And it looks good. And again, it's staying tucked in where it's supposed to. Then you could bring his arms out to the side. And it's not like I've stretched the clothing or anything. It all still looks good. Then he does have upper bicep swivel. And then he does have double jointed elbows that get a pretty good bend. Check that out. And then at the hand, he does have a ball joint at the wrist that has a hinge in there. So you could kind of hinge it around and spin the hand around on that ball joint. So pretty good stuff at the arms and the torso and the neck. They really did a great job. And like I said, I just wasn't expecting that much movement out of it. And then the leg can kick up to about right there, which is pretty impressive considering he has pants on. And you could give the illusion that it's going higher if you kind of bend his torso forward. Look at that, man. That's really dope. Goes to the side to about right there. So that's nice. Get him into some running poses. It does it have an upper thigh swivel in there? It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if there's an upper thigh swivel in there, but you could tell that it's kind of moving on a ball joint in there or something. So not 100% sure if there's an upper thigh swivel in there. I don't feel it. So maybe the upper thigh is just kind of rotating on a ball joint in there. And then he does have double jointed knees that get a good bend. And then the ankles get some really great range, especially considering that he's wearing like these boots, but it's a double ball peg in there. And you could see they went ahead and just kind of left it straight open, you know, like when you pull the pants up, you could see that really long double ball peg. And that just allows for a lot of really great movement. You could spin the foot around, shift it around, get some side to side action. And since the pants come down, you know, it doesn't make it look weird at all. So really good stuff at the feet. And yeah, man, just in general, really impressive articulation, really fun to play with. You don't have to worry about damaging the soft goods or making them look weird or stretched out after you're posing the figure. And yeah, man, just great articulation. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, coming from someone that has zero attachment to the character and that knows very little about the world that he comes from, this figure is an absolute banger through and through. Patriot Studio did a phenomenal job on this guy. At this point, it's like every single Patriot Studio figure that I get, I just expect that it's going to be a high level of quality, and they have yet to disappoint me. Every single one of their figures that I have, I'm always impressed with the level of quality that they bring. They're all so good, and this guy right here is no exception. They did a great job on everything. The soft goods are really nice, very high quality, super durable. They're going to last when you play with the figure. The sculpting work on him is amazing, especially the skin tone. Like, the skin tone has a very realistic, but at the same time, video game accurate feel to it. I love the imperfections on the face. It adds a level of realism that we don't really see on a lot of 1/12 scale figures. I like all the accessories that he comes with. I really like the vest that he has with all the little details. And, you know, just everything about the look and the accessories is really well done and very high level. And then when it comes to the articulation on this guy, I was completely surprised by what we have going on here. And, you know, I consider myself someone who's pretty familiar with what Patriot Studio does. I have a lot of their figures and, you know, I understand what they do when it comes to articulation. And this guy, like, even though the body feels very familiar compared to some of the other Patriot Studio figures, for whatever reason, he seems way more posable. Like, there's a lot more possibilities with this guy. I feel like the joints get more range. And yeah, I was just really surprised by the articulation on this guy. They absolutely killed it in that department. And you know, when it comes to balancing articulation and soft goods, I would say the Patriot Studio is up there with some of the best out there, whether it's Mezco or these third-party companies or, you know, whoever. They just do a great job, and they're right up there with some of the best companies that do this kind of thing. So yeah, man, they killed it. They killed it all the way around. Articulation, accessories, sculpt, soft goods, everything about this figure is dope. And if you're a big fan of Resident Evil, you will definitely be happy with this figure and all the Patriot Studio stuff. Like, they're killing it with all the Resident Evil figures. I especially like the zombie cops. Those are the ones that like really got me on to Patriot Studio because those things are amazing. I love them. But every other figure that they've come out with since those zombie cops has been just as good, you know? Like, they're killing it all the time. So yeah, man, this guy's awesome. And huge thank you to Patriot Studio for sending this out to me to review. I do have another Patriot Studio figure to review. It's a little older. It's been out for a couple of months, but I'm looking forward to checking him out. It looks awesome. But it's got a bunch of accessories. That's kind of been the delay. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking that guy out, especially after opening this one, because if he's as good as this, I'm going to be very happy. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. Thank you very much. Peace.